Very warm greetings. Welcome back. It would be lovely to get your feeling and feedback on the reflections yesterday. But to help with this, we're going to start with a short video explainer that was created based on yesterday's session. So for those who attended revision, or if you missed it, it'll help you catch up.
All right, let's get right into it. You know those days when you just feel frustrated, annoyed, or stressed out? We've all been there. But what if I told you that a huge chunk of those negative feelings, yeah, everything from a tiny irritation to just pure rage, all comes from one single hidden mistake. It's a mistake we make every single day without even realizing it. And in this explainer, we are going to expose it. I mean, think about it for a second. Why can a random negative comment online, or someone criticizing your favorite team, or even just a weird look from a total stranger, why can that completely throw off your entire day? How can something so external have such a massive impact on what's going on inside you? It doesn't really make sense, but it happens to us all the time. Now, here's where it gets really wild. According to the spiritual teachings we're looking at, a staggering 100% of our anger is caused by this one little subconscious mistake. 100%. Not just some of it, all of it. So, what is this powerful, hidden thing that's running the show? Okay, let's pull back the curtain. The source of all this emotional chaos actually has a name, and I'm guessing it's not what you think it is. It's a really subtle mental habit that just flies completely under our radar. And here it is. The culprit is called false identification. And what that really means is it's the mistake of attaching your sense of self, your I, to things that are not actually you. It's when your brain subconsciously says things like, I am my job, or I am my car, or I am this political opinion. You're basically fusing your identity with something totally separate from you. To see this taken to a crazy, tragic extreme, just look at Mark Chapman, the guy who shot John Lennon. He was such an obsessive fan that over time, he subconsciously crossed a very dangerous line. He didn't just admire John Lennon anymore, he actually started to feel that he was John Lennon. Now that's a very conscious and terrible case of false identification. But for you and me, this happens in much, much smaller ways every single day. Let's break down how this sneaks up on us with a super simple example. Imagine you're asked to water a plant. Okay, simple enough. At first, you're just associated with it, right? It's just a task. But as you keep taking care of it, it subtly becomes your plant. That's step 2, attachment. Then, one day, a friend comes over and says, that plant is ugly. And you feel it, that sting. You feel personally offended. Why? Because you just made the final leap. Identification. An insult to the plant has now become an insult to you. You've given a piece of your I away to a plant. And of course, this isn't just about plants or rock stars. This quiet little process of false identification, well, it takes over pretty much every part of our lives. It creates this whole network of fragile, false versions of ourselves. You know, if you could take a selfie of your mind, you'd see it's just crowded with all these little false I's. There's the I that is your job title, the I that is your cool car, the I that is your strongly held political opinion, the I that is your relationship status, the I that is your body. The list goes on and on. We build our entire sense of who we are on dozens of these external, temporary things. So what's the big deal? Why is this a problem? Well, here's the crucial point. Every single one of these false identities is built on something that's totally outside of your control. Your job? You could lose it. Your car? It can get scratched. Your body is definitely going to age. And opinions change all the time. This makes that false I fundamentally deeply insecure. It's living under constant threat, and on some level, it knows it. And the emotional fallout from that insecurity, it's huge. That deep, shaky feeling is the direct source of our worst emotions. When our false identity feels threatened, boom, we feel stress. When it doesn't get what it wants, boom, we feel anger. When we see someone else get what our false I wants, boom, we feel envy. You see, it all grows from that one single insecure root. Living like this, it's like being caught in a trap. The more you feed these false identities, the bigger and more insecure they get. But there is a way out. There is a really powerful antidote to this whole cycle of insecurity. The solution is to learn to shift our focus from that false I to what we can call the true I. Just look at the difference here. The false I is insecure. It's attached, it's super reactive, and all of that leaves it feeling empty. But the true I, which we can also call the observer, is the complete opposite. It's naturally secure, it's detached, it's peaceful, and that leads to a feeling of being whole or full. So who is this observer? The great news is it's not some new personality you have to go out and build. It's the real you. It's the part that's been there the whole time, just buried underneath all those false identities. The observer is the part of you that just watches life happen, without judgment and without getting attached to the outcome. A really beautiful way to get a feel for the observer's mindset is this metaphor. Think of yourself as a guest on this planet. Now, a guest is involved, right? They enjoy the house, they talk to people, they use the furniture, but they don't identify with it. If someone decides to rearrange the living room, a guest doesn't take it personally. They stay peaceful and detached. That is the perspective of the observer. Okay, so this sounds great, but how do we actually do it? Here's a simple 4-step practice you can try. The very next time you feel that sting of anger or you feel offended, just stop. First, just notice the reaction. Don't judge it, just see it. Second, ask yourself this question. What am I identifying with right now? Is it my opinion? Is it my looks? My role as a smart person? Third, just for a second, see how absurd it is. Isn't it a little strange to give your core sense of self, your I, to something so temporary? And finally, step 4, consciously take a mental step back into that calm, secure role of the observer, the one who is just watching it all happen. And this isn't just a one-time mental trick. This is a practice that really builds into a whole new way of living. It's a path to real freedom. By doing this, you start to untangle yourself from all the drama, and you begin to reclaim this amazing sense of inner peace and strength that doesn't depend on anything happening outside of you. So, all of this leaves us with a pretty profound question to think about. If you strip away all of those false identifications, if you let go of your possessions, your roles, your opinions, even your physical body, what's left? If you are not any of those things, then who really are you?
Welcome back. This question is left at the end will be a wonderful way to start the session today. And thank you for the notes. Would you like to add what's important for you? For me, those 4 steps were very helpful, the way that it was also underlined. And I love that, like non-judgment. Like first you see the sting and then stop. And without judgment, having the reflective questions. So it was very helpful. So welcome back. Welcome to Prashant. Hello.
Yes, thank you. And so beautifully summarized. And you will receive the recording of this. It is nice revision. Let us create a minute of experience, attention. And during this minute, we come to that observer. And we are underlining the invisible observer. And nice way to come in this observer is to grasp the guest perspective. Guest is naturally the detached observer. A guest, he lives in a different household, different place. He knows of his different reality. He has no intention to cross that dangerous line. That's right, observer. Invisible observer is a guest. He is flying past everything of this world, including this body and the role. And everything is within that. Nations, religions, actions, everything is there. But he's so free. And being free, that allows him to be friendly. Thank you. So since the subject is beautifully revised already, we go to the subject of today. And today we are trying to get an overview of our life. And for that, we are going to see the big map. This overview helps us understand our absurdities, small things, big things, how this society can be so absurd. Like the subject we saw yesterday, it may appear academic, that we identify, and as was said, this identification is not a new word. This word exists in the world, but no one is questioning it. Here we are seeing that this is the cause of 100% of angers and of all the chaos that exists in the world. And that just because people take it personally, they want to create wars. Only if you were to step behind, you discover a completely different personality of yourselves. And we can create a very different world if we only step out of this identification. The same way we are going to see today some other absurdities that exist in our life. And for this, we use this image of a box. This doesn't look like a box. So this is representing our world, the entire world that we know, we see, is represented by this image. And this box comes with 3 labels. Do you want to tell what are these labels? Those who have not heard this before, they get a first chance to answer. This box, what is happening within this box? Let me describe exactly what we are meaning by this box. The whole world is in this. This box is representing the physical world. So our town is within this, our country is within this, everyone you know is within this. This is what we see as our universe, our world, is our immediate world. Prashant is within this box. So what is happening within this? Now, what are these 3 labels that this world has got? Do you want to tell what are these 3 labels? Tell me one.
Sometimes the word chaos is used.
Sure. Even in a perfect world, what is happening within this box?
Relationships,
Yes,
changing phenomena,
yes.
life.
Yeah, very good. Now, there's some words that are relevant for us. Change. Change is a blatant and obvious. It is happening right in front of us. Things are changing. With change comes end. Everything that you see here is to end. Nothing is permanent. At a small level, micro level, macro level, things are beginning and ending. And another word that is relevant for us, it is unpredictable. We don't know what is to happen next year. We don't know what is to happen next second. Such is the nature of this box that we are dealing with. It is changing, it has an end, it is unpredictable. Now let us ask a question. Here I am, and I am just standing here, and for some reason I feel I am seeing here a branch of a tree, but it is broken. It is a broken branch. It is, let us say, it is broken at more than one place, that whole branch. And if I take support from this branch, will it make me feel more comfortable or less comfortable? If I take a support from a broken branch, will it create peace in me or will it create peacelessness in me? Will it make me more secure or less secure? Do you want to answer? Branch is broken, and I take support from this broken branch. Will it make me secure or insecure?
Sounds like a terrible, terrible situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is like a absolute situation of creating problem to oneself, to take support from a broken branch. Without it, I am better off. It is not that let us say I was even having some unstable ground and I want to take support. Broken branch will make it worse. It will not make it a little bit, some support. No, it make it worse in my situation. And it is better without it, without taking support from it. Now here, let us come to this word. And this word comes with the letter end, guaranteed end. Not almost, everything that you are seeing there is just going to disappear. People are going to disappear. Your job is going to disappear. Things are going to disappear, including this body is going to just not there. There is an end, delete. Now, in such a world, if you take support, is it wisdom or is it confusion? Will it make me make me secure? Will it make me more insecure? Now the absurdity that we were talking earlier, the whole world at present is absolutely diving in this world and take support from this world in different ways. They even use the letter, they want to settle down. Settle down where? In that unpredictable box. They want to own things. Why do they want to own things? They want to put a label my to things. Why? They think that will give them support. So the word my comes. They create expectations and they hope that someone else gives them support within that box. They create demands and expectations. That spiral is representing they are going deeper and deeper. Even today, if you meet 100 people, just do a market research, meet 100 people. What are they all doing? They are trying to own more things within that unpredictable box. They are going further down the spiral. And this becomes like an absolute reason for that big insecurity that we saw yesterday. Leave aside the identification. Just the letter my is enough. You feel nothing has disappeared. It is still in front of you. The branch has not broken. It is still there. But subconsciously, you know it is going to go. You know it is a broken branch. Subconsciously, the word end is very blatant, and there is a insecure feeling. And what we saw yesterday, insecure, it brings out the worst. Even your cat and dog, you make them insecure, you will bring out the worst in them. Make them secure, you bring out the best. So more we go in that downward spiral, we make ourselves insecure, and as a result, we bring up the worst within ourselves. If I'm bringing out the worst in me, I'm the first one to experience it. Others may get 1% of it, but I get full hog. 100% of it will be to me. More a person is at the lower end of the spiral, greater is the misery. If he's at this end of the spiral, less is the misery. Our big success would be out of that spiral. To take support from that broken branch is not compulsory. Now, big question comes, how? And it is a necessary question. How can we be in this world and not create any bondages? It is the same world. Is it possible for me to be in this world and not create any bondage? For that, I give an example. Let us say you go to a museum. If you are in Cambridge, we got some nice museums here. So you go to a museum.
It's a modern art one.
Yeah. Our museum doesn't look quite like this, but this is a new museum that is going to come. So you go to the museum, you spend 2 hours there, and then you come out. You were there for the entire 2 hours. You were involved fully, watching the exhibits, meeting people, sitting there. You are involved in it, but you come out and you didn't take any support. You didn't create any bondage. You didn't use the letter my to anything. You were involved. At the same time, you were free. And how did you manage? There are a few things that help us not to get in this bondage world. One is very clear exit. When you know the exit, it appears absurd to claim things when you are going. And that helps you, that prevents going in that direction. And in this case, just awareness that he's a guest. He's not from that museum. He's not from that world. He's a guest. Just this awareness has such power. And so yesterday also we used this word guest. It is such a good word for us. And it helps you be involved at the same time, be sensible. It doesn't deceive you. Now the big message is that we are guests on this planet. We are confused and we don't behave like guests, but we all know we are guests. Poets are telling us we are guests. There are many, many songs telling we are travelers, we are guests. What prophets are telling us we are guests. But we know it is like we got to exit. Everyone is gone. Many were here, they are gone. So very, very blatant, this exit and the guest. But what's the but? We are guests here. It is not new, we said. We are already told about this, and we ourselves know about it also. But what is new still? Do you want to tell? The knowledge is not new, we are saying here. But still, what is new? What is new is the experience of it. If you come to experience being a guest, even for 1 minute, that is new. To be a guest on this planet, this is what we are talking about, means you, for that minute, you are reminding that not one atom of this world belongs to you. That is such a beautiful experience. Not one atom means body doesn't belong, nothing of this world belongs to you. No one belongs to you. You are a guest. For 1 minute to experiment with this. Guest is very clear of his exit. Completely free. And what will happen during that minute, you will discover and experience that state of absolute security. You will experience feeling secure. I should add here that 100% of sorrows of the world are because of this box. 100% of desperations are because of this box. 100% of vices are because of this. 100% of ego are because of this box. It creates havoc in this world, this box of goodies. And when we are going in that spiral, downward spiral, we just lower the quality of our lives. We are getting all of this. Now, for 1 minute, you are experimenting with being a guest. You become free from all of this. That itself is a huge prize. 1 minute you are free from vices and greed and ego, sorrows, that you become free. You discover you are secure. And we saw when you are secure, it brings out the best in you. A secure person, we saw yesterday, experiences peace. Secure person experiences happiness. He experiences love. In a secure environment, you love. Someone makes you insecure, your love becomes less. The absolute law, 100% of our love is connected to feeling secure. Secure person experiences contentment. But we also saw yesterday, when you are secure, it improves your concentration. When there is that emotional stability, better concentration. One helps the other. You have a better clarity. When you are secure, you are more creative. When you are secure, there is greater enthusiasm. All this, your positive side, comes up. But we also saw this also frees you completely from ego and vices and sorrows, desperations, desires. You become free from that box. And you are discovering that other personality within yourselves. It is not some little peace somewhere and little happiness, state of peace. There is nothing else underneath. There are no undercurrents. You are free from that whole thing. You are naturally the observer in that experience. So you did this just for 1 minute, and you will get this experience straight away. What happens as a result of this? You will find that you are going up the spiral. It is not just 1 minute of happiness, and that's the end of it. Our aim is to bring about a deeper shift. We have been going down the spiral. We want a method to come up the spiral. 1 minute you experience this, some change happens. You are experiencing all these feelings, some glimpses. You start with some glimpses of that peace, glimpses of feeling secure, complete freedom, all this. That helps you the next practice, your next minute. When you are creating this next minute, you will have already the experience. So it adds up and it takes you further up. It will continue to become more and more natural for you. That personality will become more natural. It also means this lower personality, that insecure side, and including the identities, they will become weaker. It will be nice to hear some thoughts from you. Anyone want to add anything?
Moment, there aren't any questions, but for me, what makes it helpful is we're not passive in this process. It's not that we are by default victims. If we do become the observer, there are options, and it's not a given that we become immediately vulnerable because of the box. And that's as if unseen, because that programming as if is a complete circuit. But just to say it's not compulsory, it's at least an opening that you have within you the strength to approach things from a mindset. So these are like two mindsets, aren't they? And of course, strength is another question, to have the strength to come from beyond the line. But at least the first thing is we have options, and that's our first empowerment, really. Yeah, thank you.
Nice. We have shown here a dotted line, dotted green line. And this dotted green line is representing ignorance. Say, I go to someone's house. It is a foreign house. It is not my place. I go there and start claiming things and believing that this is mine. Then I'm not thinking clearly. There's confusion. And that is represented by this dotted line. I have crossed the line. I'll give an example. One time we had a gathering and someone's house, just a village outside of Cambridge. And some families had come, And one little boy, 4-year-old boy, had come with his parents, and the host family brought a toy for this boy to play. And next thing I see is that boy is crying. So there's a toy that he liked, he should be happy. And why is he crying? And go to see, he wants to take this toy home. This is after 2 hours when they are going to go home. He wants to take this toy home. And his mother said, we can't take it home. So he has lost the toy. And that's why he's crying. And he cried. He did not play with the toy. He liked the toy. He got attached to the toy. He cried. And then he went home crying. This is like the story of all the adults. Adults are no different to this. Just the toys are different. So what happens there? You come, you find something, and then you want it. You create attachment to this mine. He already got into the feeling of mine, and then he cannot take it, so he already lost it. And so he is into that, me, poor me, I lost the toy. So that insecure and loss, and he can't blame anyone. So he was just unhappy, sad. Adults are the same, just the toys are different. Get into different kinds of attachments to different things, and then there is time to go and they cry. So this is an example of crossing that line, dotted line. It is someone else's house. The toys belong to somebody else. They don't belong to me. So he comes there cross the line. And once you cross the line, you are into ignorance. And ignorance brings more ignorance. Once you are in darkness, you do more mistakes. We had another boy around the same time. The other boy, his name was Adam. And Adam had a slightly different personality. So if he's given a toy, he would get other children, play with the toy, enjoy the whole thing. And then if he goes home, there are toys at home. He doesn't need to take this toy. There are other toys at home. Then another time there are no toys. He's happy to play with stones and play with sticks. Be creative, in some way. That was his style. Another time there are no stones, no sticks to play. He will say, I've been playing whole day. Now let me enjoy this silence. And then let me be with mummy. And sensible child enjoys life. When we cross that line, when we are into ignorance, you cannot enjoy the toy that is in front of you. And this is the story of adults also. The extraordinary world is right in front of us. But if we have crossed the line, we can't enjoy what is in front of us. When we are behind a line, then the person enjoys the life, enjoys the journey. Like at our level, it may be at one time you had a great job, another the next scene, different scene comes. That the great job is not there, smaller job, that is another experience. Another time, some bigger job comes, you become the president, that is another job. Another time you do some charity work, or another time there's nothing to do. That's another experience. You've been doing job whole life. Now let me experience this peace, and there is a different sensible person enjoys life. Just doing one job is not the only mission of life, but he enjoys life. And within the context, does everything from that space. But absurdity is one who has crossed a line. He doesn't enjoy the toy that is in front of him. He is crying that he might lose it after an hour. Yeah, it will be nice to hear any thoughts from you or any comments.
Maybe in this connection, there's a question. The person is asking, sometimes I feel like crying without any reason, but they say everything is fine, like there's no obvious reason. What could be happening?
Well, now that we have got more knowledge, we need to remind ourselves reasons for laughing, reasons for happiness. There is no need to analyze any of this, because we are saying here the big message here. The whole department of sorrow is artificial. Any kind of crying is artificial.
You mean the reason for it is artificial?
Yeah, because that world is not my world in the first place, and I am just a guest in this world. Then it can disappear any moment, that we know beforehand. And being a guest, it is like every moment is a gift for me. And there is no real reason for crying. If I cross that line, and if I'm taking support from a broken branch, that is the only reason for any kind of sorrow, any kind of crying. If that broken branch, I'm not realizing that it's broken, suddenly find that it is broken, then there will be crying, sudden shock. But sensible person knows beforehand, this is not a world he wants to take support from. He remains the guest, the traveler. Invisible guest, that is the word we used. Invisible traveler. One who is sensible, he has this awareness that he is the invisible traveler. And this expression we might use from time to time. He's a traveler, he's a guest. And the best space we want to be in is a space of detached involvement. We are very much involved. We want to be involved. We don't want to run away from this world. It's a great world. It's a foreign world. We are guests. But people go to foreign countries. To foreign world doesn't mean it's something I need to run away from it. But know that it is not my world. And don't cross the line. That is all. You are aware of your world. And when you are not crossed the line, then you will find yourselves in that space of detached involvement. Means detached, that word to be understood as free. So you are fully involved in that world. At the same time, you are 100% free. Any moment you have to go, you are free to go. You lost nothing, you identify with nothing, you are not taking support from anything. You are free. Then it is the healthy involvement. And then you will find there are no conscious, subconscious, some traumas, sorrows, disappointments, none. It is when you are positive inside and outside, then you will find you appreciate every moment. Every moment of that experience becomes like a gift for you. You will appreciate it. Just like tourists enjoy, the place more than local because they are internal. They have not created any attachments. That's why they enjoy more. Same happens here. Another area I want to touch here, this insecure feeling, the moment we create any attachments and we create within ourselves a victim mentality. A victim mindset. The moment we cross that line, we start thinking we are victims. Because now I can lose it, and poor me, this was mine, and poor me. Someone breaks this. Like say I come to this room and I create attachment to some table here, and someone scratches it. Oh, poor me, someone criticizes it, poor me. The moment I cross that line, I get into the victim mentality. And what is the tendency of a victim? Victim has to look for dangers. Sometimes you see some small animals, they're constantly looking for dangers. Is there anybody going to attack? That is the constant guard, and it is necessary. So same thing happens here, except that this is fabricated. We create this artificial situation, go to a foreign world, start claiming things there, and then scream, oh, I'm a victim. And then they are looking for dangers. Dangers means they look for negative things. If some 10 things going right in your life, one thing going wrong, what is going wrong will get more time. If someone has done 100 good things, one wrong thing, that one wrong thing will get more time, because he's looking for dangers. He ignores all the positive things. And so one who is a victim, one who is in a victim mentality, he naturally becomes a negative thinker. Constantly. So his mind is going in this circle. He doesn't forget all these negative things. He doesn't forget. He plays those records in his mind. But that becomes the life. He is not free to appreciate what is going on in his world, positive. There may be, you keep him in heaven, but he's looking for all the dangers. That mind can create hell of heaven and heaven of hell. That is what happens here. And that the victim creates hell of heaven. And the victim is always associated. That victim mentality is twinned with the beggar mentality. So he is a victim. So please be nice to me. Please praise me. Please be kind to me. Please love me. I am a victim. Victim has got many other tendencies also. He tends to blame others. All this is going on. But a victim also comes with a beggar mentality. So these are the lowest denominations in any society. In a society, there are merchants, there are warriors, there are lawyers, there are postmen, all these different, and there are beggars. Beggar is the lowest denomination in a society. Victim is the lowest denomination. And so one who has crossed a line very quickly goes in this victim mentality. I gave the example of this boy with a toy. And a toy is in front of him, he's crying. Why is he crying? And at a deeper level, he sees himself as a victim. And he says, this should be my toy. Why is it not with me? Why I can't take with me? For me, he is seeing himself as a victim. He has got 100 toys at home, but right now he is seeing himself as a victim. And that comes beggar. He's begging for that toy. But same with the adults. We have the option. What's the option? Be the vulnerable guest. And in a second, you're out of this mess. You discover the mind of the noble. Noble means you feel you need nothing. You're very lucky. He knows the guest on this planet. He knows he doesn't own a single atom. He doesn't want to own a single atom. But he feels he's lucky. He got the best. He experiences that peace and security. Yesterday we saw that when you are secure, with that comes feeling of fullness. Security is very, very special for us, to feel deeply secure. When you are secure, you feel noble. These feelings will follow. So we are emphasizing here being secure. Now everyone in the world is also want to be secure. Say someone wants more gold. Why he wants gold? To be secure. Someone wants a bigger job and a bigger hat, and someone is to love him. Why? He wants to feel secure. So everyone is doing it anyway. They all want to be secure. So what's the difference? You are emphasizing feeling secure, and they say, I'm doing it anyway. This is what I'm working for. I want to feel secure. That's why I want more gold. What's the difference between what the security you are talking of and security he is talking of? Do you want to tell?
An interesting question, because they feel very good. As was said, we don't take support from something to feel bad. One comment, it has fear with it. So there's the good feeling, but immediately the fear of potentially losing it.
Yeah, sure.
But then, there's some limitations. It doesn't answer all of my insecurities.
Yeah, sure. What happens is people, the whole world is looking for security in that broken branch, in that insecure world. There is a blind spot. They can't see that it is a unpredictable world. And they are investing so much into that broken branch. And as a result, that precisely makes them more insecure. Here, what you are doing is you are coming out of the broken branch. And you discover security by coming out. That you are not deceived. And that the other person who is taking support from that broken branch is deceived. And that becomes the reason for more crisis. Like today, we have got more mental health problems than even 20 years ago. Why? Because that spiral is going further down. More people are taking support from this. This box of goodies is coming out with more goodies, more technology, and more songs are coming up. So you are taking support from more people there in that. And so guaranteed mental health problems are going to increase. So more you let come out of this broken branch, more you step out of this, your security is from beyond, then you will discover that you are more secure. No one can take your security away. You are never a victim. You will discover that noble personality, and it is deeper.
There are a couple of questions,
Yeah.
and you possibly already answered them, but what exactly does it mean that you don't take support from anything?
Yeah. We take support by the moment I use the word my to anything, I am taking support. I'm relying upon it. All the attachments are created that is taking support, become dependent. What we are really talking about is you become dependent on something as if it matters. What happens there matters. Your peace depends upon another person. All these are supports. Dependency is another word for what we are talking about. I could say there is a person. Let me give an example. Here is a person, and I'm here. And that person, it is nice to see that person. He's going east, I'm going west. That is great. Sure. Nice seeing you. Bye-bye. I just create a desire from him that he will accompany me. I'm going this way, he will accompany me. He might have even promised that he will accompany me. So because of that, I created a desire, expectation. Already there is some dependency created. I just created a deep expectation that he will accompany me. I'm planning things because he will be with me. Deeper inside, I feel disappointed if he doesn't come. It means I had created dependency, I had taken support in a mild way, but nevertheless, it was a support created, taken. I feel, that for some reason that person is mine, some brother, my friend, mine. I own that person in some way. Children, my child, and then the deeper expectations and ownership And if that person was to disappear, I will feel disappointed. I will feel sorrow, so all kinds of feelings. The negative feelings come because there was support taken, emotional support, some dependency was there.
Like taking things for granted, that they will be the way they were yesterday.
Yeah, in different ways. In other words, anytime there was even the slightest sorrow, you are missing, lacking, those kind of feelings come, that is a sign that you are taking support. And there was dependency. Ego, when we create ego, was today we spoke about identities. It is a deep end of taking support. It is like a full confusion. You don't only think that other person is mine, you are identifying with the other person. That is taking everything personally. That's why sorrows are 10 times greater. So that gives you an idea of, of this whole department of taking support from a broken branch, dependency. Yeah, I like the question because that expression is used, but we need to understand also.
So someone's asking, I find it extremely difficult to pause when I begin getting agitated, maybe when in a conversation or in my own mind, feeling troubled from intrusive thoughts of the past or even thinking of the future. So, how can I practice pausing?
Sure. What we are talking today is creating 1 minute. And this is like a homework where other life will continue and old habits will continue. But we are not focusing on that, and not to feel guilty that happens and still continues, not to feel guilty. But let us create this 1 minute many times in a day. And this minute, let it be a minute of quality. You really become that invisible guest in this world. Experience. We said to be a guest means you don't own one atom of this world. Try and get that experience. Experience that freedom, where there is no dependency, no support taken, no attachments, no identification. You are that invisible traveler. Come to these experiences again and again, maybe a few times, but each time at least for 1 minute. And what you will notice is there is a deeper strength in you, and many other our weak tendencies, habits, they will continue to dissolve. It has to be replaced. We can superficially suppress it, but here we are nourishing that noble side within us.
That's nice. Would it be possible to have some practice now to get the feel of it?
Yeah. So here we are seeing our big map, and we are just reflecting on some words. Just reflecting. We are not calling this a deep meditation, more a reflection, and reflecting on the word guest. We all have experience of being a guest. We like the experience of being a guest. A guest, he knows he owns nothing at the place, and so he knows he doesn't lose anything. He silently experiences that feeling of being secure and never a victim. A host doesn't feel the same. Host may feel he is a potential victim. Someone can break things, someone can say things, and he can be a victim. That's why the host has some burden in his mind. Guest feels lightness. Guest also experiences freedom. He is free to go when he chooses. He loses nothing. We remind ourselves that we are guests on this planet. And being a guest, he knows that he doesn't own anything on this planet. And he knows that he doesn't lose anything. He knows being a guest, he doesn't own anyone else, and so he never loses anyone. The guest knows he doesn't own a single atom on this planet, and he has got nothing to lose. Complete liberation. He experiences the lightness of a guest. This moment, he experiences the security of a guest. Nothing to lose, they're so secure. He experiences that noble personality, never a victim. He experiences the freedom of a guest. He also experiences the gratitude of a guest and appreciation of a guest. As we continue on our journey in the sky and on earth, we remember the immensely beautiful truth of the invisible traveler. revise what we discussed today. This analogy of the broken branch is very important for us. For any reason, I take support from a broken branch. It makes my life worse. That is what we are emphasizing here. I may be insecure even, but to take support from a broken branch is not an answer.
那我本来就是个有安
That broken branch will make you more insecure and bring more sorrow. What we are dealing with here, this physical world that is offered to us, it comes with a label and everything within it is just going to disappear. It doesn't come with a label, it is permanent. So something just going to disappear, it is worse than a broken branch. And certainly not a world to take support. So at present, we are seeing here, our human race, we are approaching this world with a narrow intellect. We are not seeing the full map. A bit like childlike, the why children create attachments because they don't see clearly. That is the reason. So we are approaching like that. So something that is blatantly in a not reliable, unpredictable, it is not a support. They use a language, they want to settle down in this world. They put a label, my here. And suddenly they get shocked, they are disappointed, they are complaining. And busy fighting also. Why are they fighting? They want to be secure in that unpredictable world. Life full of contradictions. You see that it is because of that blind spot. They can't see the obvious. That's why. But this is not just a few people. This is the society we have created. We are talking about billions of us. We are in this life, the downward spiral. Mind, it is like a totally accepted language. And so to feel insecure is not a surprise. Everyone leads a life of subconscious insecurity. And with that insecurity comes the victim mentality. We saw that we have the option to see the bigger map. And when you see the bigger map, you realize that we are just travelers in this world. We have an exit. This is so obvious. And that if we have an exit, we don't need to go in that downward spiral. But each time we just remind ourselves of this. The important word is invisible traveler. Invisible traveler naturally has detached involvement. Is involved, remains free. And we are saying here, when 1 minute you are practicing this, that is like a the best thing you can do to yourself. But let that minute be of quality, not in a superficial way, just thinking soul is not enough. Be the guest, one who has a guaranteed exit, clearly see the exit. And then you will find everything is a gift for you. That moment is a gift. When you come in that space, you are not a victim anymore. And when the victim mentality is removed, it gets replaced by the noble. Same second. That's why you feel appreciation. You are not worrying about things, but everything appears like a gift. We said if you are in that space, you enjoy your journey, you enjoy life. When you cross that line, you can't enjoy the toy that is in front of you. You can't play with the toy that is in front of you. If you are in that higher consciousness, every moment is a gift. Every experience appears like a gift. And your mind has no reason for any sorrow, any desperations, any vices, any ego. We have that option. Everyone has the option. They also have the option to cross the line. Sorrow in this world is optional. Sorrow is not compulsory. Secure person, he experiences the best within himself. This law applies to all creatures, whether your dog, cat, can be snakes, robbers, can be insects. If you make them secure, you will bring out the best in them. You make them insecure, you will bring out the worst in them. It is good to know this. It's an absolute law for all life. And same thing applies to us. When we are in that higher consciousness, you discover you're secure. You discover your own best. And it is extraordinary. It is not a best in a sense, some slightly better. You discover your divine personality. You cross the line and you discover different personality. So all the if you read newspapers and you see some different kinds of personalities, people doing crimes and thinking, they're distorted thinking. It is all because they cross the line, and then it can take them anywhere. That insecurity and victim mentality, beggar, it can take them anywhere. Further down the spiral you go, there is more ugliness. So before the world goes further down, we have to find a way of moving up. So it is about time for rooms, I think. But if Sarah want to add anything. I saw at one point Chloe had raised the hand if she want to ask anything.
Just translating. So that's the reason for raising. I think what's interesting, because it's challenging what we have seen as normal insecurity. But when we see about the spiral, And it's helplessly we become victim, but with knowledge we have the options. If we didn't know, it is a very confusing place to be. But to be empowered by, if we create expectations, dependency, then that is a result. And that there is an upward spiral that exists, must exist. And I think all the things that human beings are capable of in a negative sense can be explained. It helps a lot. Otherwise, there's also a fear of what is this mind that could do things. But if that mind is so caught with the desperation, it is understandable, the root. But do we use it to take responsibility, to take back that remote control? Otherwise, if I give my remote control to someone else and my behavior is accordingly to the button they press, we feel so lost. So I will share a question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So this question for the rooms could be, have you created any bondages? What are the signs of crossing the line? Is that okay?
Yeah. Nice.
So maybe you can just pause for a moment to reflect on that question for yourself. And after half a minute or so, we will open up the rooms. But just to really feel what is your experience from listening today. Just take a moment for that. See, the rooms are open, so we've put that question in the chat also, and enjoy the discussion, and we'll meet back in just over 10 minutes. Thank you. Hello, warm welcome back in the room. Great to see you also, and be lovely to hear. Maybe there's questions that are coming up also. It's a very powerful way of seeing things, different from the ordinary. But first, let's take maybe a few moments to catch the subtlety of this feeling of the freedom of the invisible traveler. Thank you. Sometimes it's said to give ourselves permission, and I really like that, because often we prioritize all the things we feel we need to achieve and do, and for sure those things we honor, but to put the mindset first. And there's a nice story of a woodcutter that loves his job. He's happy to do his job, and he gets the brief to cut 100 trees. And on the first day, he does really well. He cuts 20. And so he thinks, I'll get this job done super quick. But as the days go past, he gets less effective. and he goes to his supervisor and just explains, and supervisor says, "Have you had time to sharpen the axe?" He's like, "No, no, I'm cutting, I'm chopping. But this axe is the tool, and our mind is the tool, and to take care to sharpen the thinking, then we will do everything with much more clarity, and in a way that's the byproduct, that we see much clearer without the clutter of insecure, repetitive thinking. But that happens that we have strength, we have a very amazing tool of the mind, but we do need to give that time to step back." So some thought that came here, and it'd be great to hear your questions and thoughts. Meanwhile, welcome back to Prashant. Thank you. Prashant comes with a whiteboard.
That's yeah, since the time is short, and we just want to bring in just one more aspect of what we spoke. We spoke, we are guests here, but guests are not just floating, where does the guest belong to? So this spiritual model, what is the spiritual model? It says that the whole physical world is a drama stage. And that if that is the drama, then the curtains and a question for you. What is it? It's the spiritual model. Those who have not seen this before, they get a chance to answer first. What is it that you see there in the middle? Blue, what I have drawn just now. What is it? If we are talking about there is a stage and performance going on, what is it that you see in blue?
The principal actor, center stage.
Center stage. Still one more.
Or any kind of actor. Stickman is a character. Someone is asking. Decor. And the decoration on there. Yeah, maybe actor is the first thing that comes up.
Yeah, the spiritual model says the actor does not belong to the stage. Actor comes on the stage. That invisible guest is the invisible traveler. He is the invisible actor. He is associated with the mask. He is associated with the character, a role. The actor leaves the stage. Actor belongs to his world. That is the home of all the actors. That world is very different to the stage. This physical world that we see here, in this model, it is 100% a theater, a stage. That's the part it is playing. And the theater stage, it has its own details. There is constant sound here. In the home, it's a home of silence. Here, there is constant movement. Drama, there has to be movement. There is action. There is change. This is the world of complete stillness. On the stage, there is a variety. so many millions, billions, but they are so different and different parts. So everything it is meant like that. The greatest equality you will get in your home all belong to this home. This is the home of everyone. The stage, everything has a beginning and an end. Every plot has an end. The home is eternal. And as a result, the home is a place of absolute security. Everyone has got a home and everyone is secure. And that environment makes them all noble and divine. There's nothing inauspicious in them. And then for them, this whole theater is an extra experience. They come, they're quite happy to act, but home is always there. They themselves are beyond harm. Theater, you see a theater. Theater doesn't harm your village. There can be performance, there can be villains in the theater. They don't harm the village. Same here, your world is beyond harm and the whole story is harmless. What is happening on the stage is a story. It is extra. Extra, it becomes entertainment. If it is not harming you, theater is always there for entertainment. And everything that happens this is the way he sees. One who is spiritually awake, he sees it this way. He knows that his true family is not in the story, not in that temporary theater. True family is behind, and they all are immensely lovely. They're disproportionate. They cannot be judged by the role they are playing. We give sometimes an example. Someone is acting as your friend, say Freddy, is acting in a drama as a camel. And a camel is a part that is played, he is someone completely different. And another friend is acting as a dragon. That is joke, but he is your friend. He remains your friend. So also here, there are different parts. What has happened when we cross the line? Do you want to tell? When we cross that dotted line, what happens to ourselves? Leave aside how others see us. What happens to us? How do we see ourselves when we cross this dotted line? Freddy is acting as a camel. When he crosses the dotted line, what happens to him?
He thinks he is that costume.
He thinks he's the camel. That is the absurd situation. And this is the story of all human beings. When we cross this dotted line, it is like the intellectual degradation. It is like we go down the spiral, crossing the line of ignorance. These are no small things. They are, it takes us into full ignorance. And we create a society that is based on that collective confusion. And we all are thinking I am the camel and someone is a dragon and someone is an elephant. We are disconnected from our world and disconnected from ourselves. We literally lead a life in the fiction. So this is what is in the spiritual model, it describes present world. This is the situation. We are living in a fiction and we are disconnected from ourselves. The process starts, what we spoke in earlier, creating these minutes. They are precious minutes because it is taking us up the spiral. It starts the process. And this process takes us out of this delusion, thinking you are the camel. You discover your world. You are reconnected to yourselves. This is like a necessary shift that has to happen. There can't be a bigger prize than that, to discover yourselves. Many times there are sometimes programs, some talk, and the true self, as if it is academic, true self, and who am I? There are some discussions. And here it is not enough just to have this nice discussion. We have to reconnect, come out of this delusion of camel and discover you. And when you have discovered yourselves, this whole reality, the spiritual reality, that becomes alive to you. You are seeing the world right way up. You are seeing your world. You are seeing you, your true family, and your absolute freedom and security. And that this story is harmless. You are never a victim. You are never a beggar. You discover that your higher personality in a natural way. This is what we want to achieve. This knowledge speaks of two options we have, and this is at the level of the intellect. One intellect is called Paras intellect, Sanskrit words, and other intellect is called the Patthar. Patthar has got similar etymology as Patros, Petra. Petra means stone, and implied gross intellect. When we are using Patthar intellect, the story of camel and elephant, that becomes our world. We are at a gross level. Patthar absolutely lives on the below the line, and it is not possible for the Patthar to know the bigger map. Paras intellect, the one who is Paras, he has the sense of the subtle. That's why one who is Paras, he can see the reality beyond the story. Paras includes broad intellect. He can see the big map, big picture. He can grasp immortality, eternity. He can see this physical world as a theater. We are talking about a big, the theater in a little stage, you can handle it. Your whole town and the country is all within the theater. Patthar cannot handle it. Whereas Paras can see the theater and see the world beyond. And for that, you need a broad intellect. And we all have Paras and we all have Patthar. But the intellect that is used more, that becomes stronger. Just as we have all the muscles, and the muscles that you don't use, they atrophy. Muscles that you use, they become stronger. So if we have not used Paras for a long time, it remains weaker. And we may hear these ideas today, including the practice of being the guest, and you may not even be able to practice it for 1 minute because the muscles are not strong. And that is okay, even if we do it for half a minute. and not to have this big aim. That is no problem. You are doing it for half a minute, 1 minute, and every time you are practicing it, you are building muscles, and that will make it easy. A week later, you will find it becomes easier. So this big reality is right in front of our nose, but we need the instrument to see it, to experience it. The sketch that is shown in front of you right now, that is a good sketch. I might encourage you to take a photograph of this beautiful sketch, because it is a Paras perspective. Every second you are just looking at this sketch. This is not necessarily, you may like to draw something like this. So every time you are just looking at a sketch like this, it will give you micro experience, and it will make the Paras stronger. So something like this, draw something like this, keep it in your main room, and as you are walking, moving, you are looking at it, you are reminded that our world is bigger, and we ourselves are subtle. We are playing the part here. Just to play with it, not at this stage, not to look for evidence and you want everything to be shown in the laboratory. It may happen in time, but right now, as you are practicing, that will give you the experience, and that experience becomes authority. You will experience those feelings, what we spoke of, that come from security, and there are noble experiences. You discover what it means to be completely free from this victim. Many things happen in this story world, and you understand you are never a victim, never a beggar, and that is like a big luxury, to be so carefree about it, to approach this world from that higher personality. Experience. Everyone has this option to come into the experience, and that gives you better position to discriminate, to even to come to conclusion what is right, wrong, to have that analysis also. We need some more experiences for analysis and to come in the experience. This is like a nice homework for us. One is to draw something like this and start using Paras to build muscles. That is our homework. And this is a long-term homework. Every day creating some minutes. First day we might not be able to run marathon, but we can run 100 meters. And that's good. You start with that. If you do it every day, one day you will run marathon. Same thing happens here. We have to start the process, and you will be able to run the marathon. Let us hear any thoughts from you, any comments and questions.
I'm sure there are. Perhaps they're just being formulated. There's a sign of gratitude. I think this is a good point when we're used to analyzing, and of course I'm the same. Someone would say to me, you think a lot, and that would make me think even more. But we have the permission to experience, like play with that view, and then we have something to analyze, and the option to come into the world with a mindset of subservience or the nobility. And sometimes you use the word homework. It's not waiting for something to be challenging, but the backdrop when, we have a few moments to catch the subtlety of this perspective, when we do have those moments to use, it could be waiting to pay for things in Tesco's. It doesn't have to be a whole beautiful scene. You just create time to create the thought of invisible traveler or hear the actor. And that comes alive. So yeah. So no other thoughts coming right now. If you want to share any, sometimes the homework is nice.
Yes, I will create time for some practice. Let us see what it means to use paras.
There
And
is a comment here that's saying it takes a long time, maybe longer than a minute, to get into that secure feeling. It's more of a comment, but if you have anything.
yeah. So it is like a metaphorical minute. But in time, it will be quicker also. So here, right now, we see that our posture is right wherever we are. We understand we have the option to use the best sight and the best intellect. We can use paras. And the moment we use paras, this moment, we realize that everything that happened today, since morning, happened in a story. And since it is a story, there is nothing to complain. There is nothing to worry about. I can put a full stop to the story. And that applies to the whole past. In the story, there are all kinds of characters. There are jokers, there are all the variety characters. They're necessary characters. But the story is harmless. Paras helps me to go beyond the story. And beyond is the real world. It's a world of complete silence. There is no noise of the story. We see this world in the image of a sky. Home of complete silence. Home that is timeless, eternal. Home of everyone. All exist here as invisible stars. They are the ones who are then the invisible actors. And they are the invisible travelers. This home is eternal, and all these living stars are immortal. They need nothing from the story. They are immortal without needing anything. They know that noble mind. They need nothing, they lack nothing, they miss nothing, they lose nothing. All, always, forever content. For them, that whole experience of the story is a gift. It is an extra experience. They need nothing ever from anywhere. They are immortal, their world is eternal, independent from the story world. As we continue on our journey in the sky and on the earth, we understand the immensely beautiful truth of everyone. All that we have done is see the world the right way up. We remind ourselves we have the option of paras. Thank you.
Thank you. So this you can revise. It's nice to have that thought, the option of Paris, and reflect on what this bigger picture looks like as we go through the rest of the day and visualize the scenes we will be experiencing from the higher perspective. So we put the playlist for the recordings. We'll also send them up by email if you would like to review. And the resources if you want to review that too with the explainers. And thank you. We'll meet again tomorrow, same time. Enjoy your experiments. See you soon. Thank you.